Hello guys, welcome to Technotrends. It's been a long period since I have posted the videos onto the YouTube channel, but from now I will create videos regularly and post them regularly. And today we are going to learn the concept of the object-oriented programming concepts for Java. The concept includes swings. Using swings, we are going to write and read the data from the files. Okay, so for this purpose, what I'm going to do is first we are going to see how to create the screens according to our project requirement or according to our requirement, and the second one, how to store the data into files using the serialization concept of streams, IO streams. And the next we are going to retrieve the data from the files using the deserialization concept of the streams. Okay, and finally we are going to see how to traverse from one frame to the other frame. Okay, so this is the things we are going to learn today, and for this purpose what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a IDE, integrated development environment, called Eclipse, to create a project where I can have a special feature called window builder, which is going to make me to just drag and drop the elements or components of the swings onto my frame directly. Okay, next it makes me to create the screen according to our requirement very easily and very fastly. Okay, so let us move on to the execution part of our program. Okay, so this is the Eclipse IDE I'm going to use here. So here YouTube demo, I have created a project already. Okay, you can directly create the project there. Okay, and here I'm going to create a new other, and here I'm going to check for window builder. In window builder I have a swing designer. Under swing designer I have application window. Okay, here I'm going to give my project name, my application source file name. Okay, so the source file name of my application is okay, the source file of my application is first frame. Okay, yes, it has been created here. Okay, and here I have one thing directly have is I import java.aw.event queue. Okay, because I am using swing application builder. Okay, so it will directly have some thing to have here. Okay, so the design. Okay, so here I'm going to find out the source and design tabs here. The source is going to show me the code of my screen, and the design is going to show me how it looks while I'm executing them on the screen. Okay, alright, so this is my screen. Okay, this is my screen. This is how I'm going to look my screen when I have executed. Okay, I can increase the okay, I can increase my screen size directly here. So I want to make this as like this, for example. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a layout first, absolute layout, because I want to keep all the elements at an absolute position. So I need to have an absolute layout. So just click here and again click here, it will directly comes into my screen. And next I need to have one more thing, the components. Okay, my screen is going to have one text field for having for asking the user to enter his username, and the second one, it is going to have the password field to enter. It will ask the user to enter his password, and later I'm going to have two buttons. One is for register and one is for login. Okay, so first I'm going to have a label here. So the label here I'm going to have is new label, enter user name. Okay, so when I have like this, I need to make it as to look big, to look the entire thing, and the text field after this one Okay, and here I need to copy this one. Okay, right. And next one more label to ask the user to enter his password. Enter password. Okay, the same way I need to drag it out to make a screen to be filled. Okay, and next I need to have a J password field. So this is my password field. Yeah. Okay, so username and password I have mentioned properly, and later I need to have a button for registration purpose. Register. Okay, so I need to make it as next login button. Alright, so this is my screen which is going to be displayed over there, and here I'm going to display my project name. So my project name is online login system. Okay, so online login system, my project name is. Very nice, done. Right. Okay, so this is my screen design. The first task I have completed. As I have already mentioned you, so how to uh, create the screens according to our project requirement. Okay, next the source file. Here I can find out frame, new J frame. So here I'm going to have my online login system. Okay, next enter username. Okay, enter password, right, and the registration button. So now I need to include the register button on click listener. Add action listener, new action listener of. Right. So here in the IDE integrated development environment, I have a feature called control space and enter. It is going to create all the things directly. Okay, right. Now this is for the registration process, and I have button login. Okay, so btn login dot add action listener of new action listener. The same way I'm going to have a method here. Okay, so now I'm going to write the code here. Right, what is the code? So here I need to write how to store the data into files using serialization concept. That means I need to use a serializable object here. Okay, for that purpose I am going to have one class called employee, which implements serializable. Right. Okay, when I have an employee class here. Okay, so when I have an employee class here, I need to have the details for the employee. So the employee details I'm going to have here are so many. Okay, like I'm going to have a string uname comma pwd. I need to read in username and password and store it into the files. Okay, with the help of an employee class. The serializable is a process of storing the data in the form of objects into the file. Okay, all right. I'm going to have one constructor which is going to take two parameters. Okay, the first parameter is username and the second parameter is password. So I'm going to use this keyword to store the uname I have read from the somewhere else and somewhere else to here. This dot pwd is equal to pwd. Okay, done. Next I'm going to have getter and setter methods. Okay, for getter methods for uname as well as password, because I have set all the methods values here over here, right? And I now I'm going to get the getter values. So source generate getters. Okay, so I want get pwd and I want get uname generate. So this will create some code to return the uname and password when I have called get uname and get password methods from anywhere. Okay, right. Okay, now I got my serializable object over here, right? So serializable object employee here. Okay, now I need to use this object for initializing my data from to be read from the user using swing frame which I have created earlier, and write that data onto my file. Okay, so for that purpose I am going to have private file output stream out. Okay, so which belongs to io.stream class. Okay, so import, we can write private object output stream os. Okay, private file input stream fin. Okay, private object input stream OIS. Okay, and I'm going to have a file called right. Okay, done. So this is my variables I need to have here. Okay, the jframe, jtext field, jpassword field, all these are where there I have. Okay, and file output stream, file object output stream, file input stream, object input stream, and a file. Okay, this file is used to call the file which I has from which I need to have the data. Okay, right. Now in my button code, first I am going to have a file. Okay, new file of the file name is login details.dht. If the file file constructor of a file class is going to create a file with the name given by the string parameter. Look, create a new file instance by converting the given path name string into an abstract path name if the given string is the empty string. So now we have taken the file. Now what we need to do? We need to have the reading of the data from the frame which we have created earlier. Okay, so the frame which has two things. The first thing is string name and the second thing is string pwd. The name is going to be read from the text field dot get text. Excuse me. And the password is going to read from the password field dot get text. Okay, now, all right. Now the thing is, I got the two things, name as well as the password which I have entered from the user. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one array list, okay, which is the type of the array list, which is the type of the object we have created. Okay, student class. Okay, so employee is the class. Yes, array list was now I need to have the data to added for my array list. Okay, so al dot add of the object which is of a type employee. So new employee with the values name comma password, right? Because I want to add elements to array list, and this array list has to be written onto my login details.dat file. Very good. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the text field set the text to be empty in the code, because I want to make the values to be empty. Okay, next password field dot set text. Very nice. Okay, next what I need to have is I need to go for my object output stream. Before that I need to have my object output stream. Okay, so if my file dot exists, that means I have already created a file. And I have used that one for storing some data onto each. Then I need to make my object output stream to be appendable. Otherwise it has to be opened with a write option only. Okay, so for that purpose, okay, so OOS is equal to new object output stream of new file output stream of file, right, and which is to be opened in a format appendable. Comma true. Okay, now along with this I need to have a method. Right. Here I need to have a method called write stream header, which is a method which can be overwritten, which need to be overwritten when I'm going to make my file as appendable. Okay, so that means when I have opened a file in appendable mode, that means I can write the data at the end of the file. Okay, I need to change the stream header. Okay, the stream header should be empty, because already I have what actually happening here is the object output stream is the serialization concept. Okay, where I can use the concept of having the header information along with the data I am forwarding to store it into my file. Okay, that is header data is going to contain what kind of the information it has, what kind of the information it has, and that data is going to be every time it is going to be overridden by, it is going to be appended by the, and for that means how many fields I'm going to enter, how many objects I'm going to enter into my file has to be added with the stream headers. Okay, so the object 1 s1 e1 employee 1 with name Ravi and password Ravi, okay, has been written onto the screen, okay, onto the file. Okay, then one stream header will be stored there. Okay, and I have closed the execution and I have started again, and I have made this as a true, made this as true. Okay, but that means the file can be appendable. Okay, appendable, not be overwritten. Okay, so what is going to be happening now? I'm going to have one more object called Chaitu and the password as Chaitu, and I'm writing onto the file login details.dat. Okay, so there what is going to be happen is, along with the Chaitu and Chaitu, it is going to have a new stream header data to be written onto the file. That means Ravi, the first entry Ravi and Ravi, username Ravi and password Ravi, has a different stream header, and the second entry Chaitu and Chaitu has a different stream header. So when I have written the data onto a single file with different streams, okay, then the first one which I have opened and retrieved earlier, the Ravi and Ravi, will only be retrieved. The first line only be retrieved, and later it is going to throw a exception called stream exception, interrupted exception or stream related exception. It will be thrown. Okay, then it will be a out, there will be no output for the second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and so on fields which I have written later after closing the stream for the first time. Is that clear? So this is what happened with the object output stream when I have opened with the appendable mode. Okay, so for that purpose I am going to use a method called write stream header, in which I am going to have a reset of the stream has to be done. Is that clear? Right. Okay, so next I am going to have a catch block which is going to have the exception. Okay, so nothing is there, or e dot print stack trace I can use here. Right. Alright, so this is about the writing of the data, and I haven't written anything onto the data. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to have here. Right. Now after if I'm going to have a else method, else block, in which I'm going to have OOS is equal to new object output stream of new file output stream of file. Right. That means if the file is not exist, we are creating for the first time and we are writing onto the file for the first time, okay, then it is directly opened as the write mode, no appendable mode. Okay, so next OS dot write object of write object of, what is the object I want to write onto this file? That is the object of my array list. Yeah, yes. So array list I am going to write. Done. Next, what I need to do? I need to have a message to be displayed for the user. J option pane dot, sorry, okay, so J option point dot show message dialog of frame comma message is registered successfully. And next OS dot close, and that's it. So this is how I'm going to write the data onto my screen. Right. Okay, let me execute this one. Control F1. Okay, so the username and password here. I'm going to have a username and I'm going to have a password, and I have clicked on the register button. Excuse me. Right, so AL, what is the error I have got here? Right, look here, null pointer exception, because I haven't initialized my array list. New array list of the collection employee. Now control F1, Chaitu, and click on register. Registered successfully. Alright, done. So let us okay, now the next point will be discussed in the next video. Okay, thank you.